Realistic piston elevators. Incredibly popular, and for good reason. Realistic elevators are a lot of fun to build in Minecraft and they end up looking amazing. And now that we have honey blocks which don't stick to slime blocks, we can create realistic elevators that are even bigger and better than before. And that to me sounds pretty exciting. Now of course, to build these things we're going to be making use of flying machines, and we're going to make use of the fact that we can actually stack these flying machines next to one another to make big walls of blocks. So I would say, I mean, how many blocks is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We are in luck there. Because for those of you who don't know, the push limit of Minecraft is 12 blocks. This little piston right here can only push 12 blocks, and we have exactly 12 blocks there. If we add one more thing to the structure, then it stops. So that means that we're pushing the maximum number of blocks that we can with one piston, being very efficient with our resources. And the reason that honey blocks have got everyone so excited is because you can now do things like this, whereas beforehand the slime blocks would stick to the other slime blocks that would have been here, and they would have added up to a higher block push limit than 12. Now we can have a set of honey blocks next to a set of slime blocks pushed by separate pistons, and that means that we can now transport, say, 24 blocks or 36 blocks or 48 blocks all next to one another because of this. I honestly couldn't be happier with this change. So now that we've worked out the side walls of our elevator, it's time to work on the back walls, which I would say, I mean, they're going to be really easy as well, aren't they? Because all we have to do is essentially mirror what we have going on here, and they can be, we can actually have all of this next to the other system. So for example, this can go here, this can go here, that's going to be moving that set of blocks, then we'll have all of this flipped on the other side, and that means that all of our observers are in the same place, which makes powering and depowering really easy. Okay, so here is our elevator chamber, the elevator carriage, I guess you could say. It's actually, for the first time ever, a 2x2 space, so we have room to walk around. We're not shoved up against the back wall. It looks really, really cool, but the one thing that I will say is that with all my previous realistic elevator designs, the elevator kind of slides past the front wall. So if you imagine in real life, it would be as if you have 3 walls are your elevator carriage, and then one of the walls is just the wall of the elevator shaft, okay? And it's just traveling past. You can't lean up against it because you'll fall over, and you know, we all know that that's not going to pass any safety regulations, is it? It only takes one kid to decide to shove his hand between the elevator carriage and the elevator shaft wall, and it just, poof, everything gets destroyed, and yeah, we'd definitely be shut down. So I'm going to try my best to actually make this elevator a little bit safer and give it the 4th wall, the wall that has the doors attached to it as well. I've never been able to do this before when we only had slime blocks, but I'm hoping that honey blocks should make all of this possible. Would this work? I actually think this could really work. So these sticky pistons right here, boom, boom, opens the doors, boom, boom, closes the doors. These honey blocks mean that these blocks would move with the elevator. We just have to attach a flying machine to this thing, and then we're golden. I still feel like this can't possibly work, though. It looks like way too much of a mess of blocks and things that could potentially stick to one another. Should we just give it a go? I feel like we should give it a go before I get my hopes up too high. 3, 2, 1, and lift off. Wow, really? None of them flew. Okay, what if we get rid of just this front element here? Is this has got to be the thing that's causing an issue, surely. Oh. Okay. Things are worse than I thought. After majorly going back to the drawing board, we are now good for another test. Hopefully this one has far fewer conflicts. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so I can actually ride in this thing. The only thing that we don't have is we don't have any of the door section, but this is actually functioning and working well and looking nuts. This looks seriously, seriously cool, doesn't it? Seriously cool. Now I have to get it down. I didn't think of that. It's off into space. This thing has already been a big success, but I really want to get this front wall sorted. I want to get it worked out. Now, I've put these in place again And I think the problem is that the honey blocks stick to these blocks. It pushes it over the push limit. And, yep, it causes problems. The back wall's disappeared. That's doing fine. But the rest of it all locks up. This is me from 2 hours in the future saying, I tried. I really tried. And I couldn't quite manage to make it work. I managed to get it working going up. It functions fine going up. Going down, it disassembles itself gradually. It's quite magnificent to look at, actually. So I guess we'll get around the inevitable kid exploding his hand by just putting up a safety warning. Yeah, I mean, that's the way we'll get around it. That's much easier. Please, children, don't explode hands in elevator, thanks. Perfect. Now, back to the building. And I'm going to level with you. I can't remember the last redstone build that I did that threw up so many strange issues. So the doors, once again, despite the fact that they're now stationary, they stay where they are. They're still tricky because obviously we have flying machines right next to them. But I think I've got around it once again by using honey blocks. So these honey blocks slip past the slime blocks, but we can extend and retract them. They will actually work as piston doors. I'm just hoping that now everything should work. So as I hit this button, the elevator should take off, the doors should close, everything should work, but it doesn't. Why does it not work? Something became out of sync there. And I'm honestly so confused. Oh, it's, yeah, there, is this powering, oh, good grief. After crying into my pillow and my desk, and my dog, I think I might have worked something out. I honestly thought I'd never see the day where this thing actually functions, and actually moves. Goodness me. But now, things are looking up, okay? I've managed to build the station up at the top, and everything should all be working up here as well. I haven't tested it. But the door's closed, the elevator has gone downwards, and actually now we see, when it lands... Those pistons did fire then. But they didn't seem to do anything. Oh no, is this going to be another thing? Right, so they're powered. And then they're unpowered. But they've left the blocks there because they're stuck to those. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about that. I don't know what to do about that. Nothing is ever easy. Really, nothing is ever easy. I don't know what to say. Terracotta. I say terracotta. Terracotta does not stick to honey blocks, and thus we can use it here. Is it pretty? No, maybe not. I don't know. But I mean, it does. It seems to function. It seems to actually work, which has me very happy. Oh, my goodness, that has me very pleased. Doors close, elevator goes between the levels. You know what? I actually think it looks quite cool in this situation here. Now all we have to do is connect these two things up with redstone lines, and we are done. We are done, ladies and gentlemen. Except the complications continue. I really want to make this so that no matter how big you build it, from bedrock all the way up to the sky limit, the redstone circuitry is exactly the same. And obviously if you're connecting up redstone lines and things, those redstone circuits are going to start getting really, really strange. So I thought I'd use some interesting methods. The first one is daylight sensors. If you look here, we need to send a redstone signal down to this layer when we hit this button, and that actually functioned. So that all worked. So if the elevator is down at the bottom, which it currently is, but we want to go down, we hit this button right here, and that will actually request the elevator to come up to the top, and it will meet us here. So that side is working. We now need to do the opposite down at the bottom. Now obviously for the bottom one, we can't actually use daylight sensors or anything like that. So instead, I'm going to make use of the water trick. I'm going to send the redstone signal through water. And I'm hoping that this should work like a charm. And it does! Ladies and gentlemen, we now have a fully functional realistic elevator that actually works. It looks really cool. We can walk around in our area. It's the first time we've had a 2x2 area for our realistic kind of little carriage type thing. We pop out on this side. We can hit the buttons. We can go down. Everything is all fully functional. And as you can tell from my voice, I am weathered. Okay, I am weathered. It's been such a challenging one. It really has. It's been such a tiny change to the redstone circuitry. All we've done is double the size of the carriage, but it's made things so much more complicated. With that being said, I'm very happy that it's done, and actually it's ended up looking really, really cool. And this system of being able to send the signal through the water and also just through the air means that actually between the two modules there's not much going on. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that connects the two modules. That's pretty sweet, isn't it? Anyway, I really do hope that you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next video. See ya. I had no idea that was going to be so complicated. When I started recording this, I was like, it might be difficult. I can foresee a few challenges, but I'm sure I'll be able to get it done nice and easily. And who knows, it might be really compact, and people might be able to build it reasonably in their worlds. That hasn't really happened, has it? This thing's huge and complicated. I don't know how I said it like that. That was pretty weird.